Hello Year 3, it's Miss Kanu speaking, and again it is a privilege to teach you geography today. We are moving on from last lesson, so our next slide will test our knowledge. Let's have a look at our knowing more and remembering more questions. Question 1. Natural resources are taken only from above the ground. True or false? Question 2. Which of the below is a geological resource? Is it A, wheat, B, cattle, C, sheep, D, coal? Question 3. List 2 agricultural resources. Question 4. What sustainable choices happen on folklore in the Pacific Ocean? At this point in the presentation, if you press pause to give yourself time to check answers, and once you are ready, resume to the next slide. Have a look at the answers. Question 1, the answer is false. Natural resources are not only taken from above the ground. Question 2, coal is a geological resource. Question 3, you could have listed 2 out of any of these agricultural resources from wheat, sheep and cattle. And question 4, sustainable choices happening on folklore in the Pacific Ocean. One is known as solar power. Our key question for today's lesson is, what are the different types of energy? Our success criteria is as follows. I understand the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy. I can identify different forms of renewable energy. I can explain advantages and disadvantages of renewable energy. So, on the left we have our key vocabulary. So as we will do in class, my turn, your turn, global warming, sustainability, natural resources, pollution. So these are keywords that you know, and on the right are keywords that you will meet. So my turn, your turn, energy, fossil fuels, renewable, carbon dioxide. Have a look at these photos on the slide. What do we use energy for? At this point, pause the slideshow and either make a brainstorm or talk to the people near you on what do we use energy for. And once you're ready, press play to resume the slide. We use energy to heat our homes, water, and to cook our food. We also use energy to power cars, so some cars may use diesel, petrol, or electricity for fuel. We also use energy to power electrical items such as lights, televisions, and computers. Did you identify some of the reasons below?
A lot of our energy comes from non-renewable sources such as coal, oil and gas. These resources are made up from the remains of ancient animals and plants that develop over millions and millions of years deep beneath the ground into what we call fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are burned by power stations to produce electricity, as well as in things like cars, planes, and steam trains. But non-renewable resources generate harmful greenhouse gases that damage the habitats of animals and plants and contribute to global warming. And our increasing demand for energy means they won't last forever. So we need to look for ways to make renewable and sustainable energy resources. For example, wind, solar, and hydro energy. These are just some of the resources that are more friendly towards the environment. These renewable energy resources can quickly replenish themselves and can be used again and again.
Okay, so did you identify the types of energy? And also, did you spot the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy? So, much of the world's energy is produced by burning fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and gas. Burning fossil fuels creates carbon dioxide gas, which is damaging to the environment and is making the earth warmer than it should be. Here we have a coal power station. Electricity is created by burning coal in the power station. Is this a form of renewable or non-renewable energy? Pause the slideshow here and either jot down or explain how you know. Once you are ready, please resume the slideshow. Coal is a fossil fuel, so it is a form of non-renewable energy, as coal will one day run out. Electricity is created by burning coal in the power station. I would like you to have a think. What are the advantages, so the benefits, and the disadvantages, so the cons, of fossil fuel energy? Pause the slideshow here, have a brainstorm or a conversation with the people near you. So, let's have a look at the advantages. On the left, fossil fuels have been used as an energy source for many years, so the technology is well developed. They are cheap and reliable. And on the right, here are some disadvantages. They contribute to global warming because they contain harmful gases. They cannot be renewed. Fossil fuels are unsustainable, meaning that they will run out. Solar panels. Solar panels convert the sun's energy into electricity. Different devices change the electricity, which means it can travel through wires to plug outlets to power items like lamps and fridges, which you may have in your home right now. Is it a form of renewable or non-renewable energy? Pause the slideshow here and have a go at explaining how you know. And the sun's heat and light are free. Solar energy can be used to generate electricity in remote places where other electricity supplies are hard to come by. It does not produce any harmful gases, and energy is usually generated at or near to the location it will be used, reducing transmission costs. And on the right are some disadvantages. Solar panels do not work so well when it is cloudy and do not work at night. The UK, as I'm sure you know, is not a very sunny country. Solar power works better in hot places, so its use is therefore limited. Solar panels convert the sun's energy into electricity. Different devices change the electricity, which means it can travel through wires to plug outlets to power items like lamps and fridges. Is it a form of renewable or non-renewable energy? Pause the slideshow here, have a conversation, or brainstorm some ideas. Here we have wind turbines. Wind turbines rotate in the wind. This rotates a generator inside the turbine which converts the wind's energy into electricity. Different power stations change the electricity, which means it can travel through pylons to homes and also to buildings. Have a look at the diagram on the bottom right. Is it a form of renewable or non-renewable energy? Pause the slideshow here, brainstorm your ideas, or talk to the people who are near you. So, wind turbines convert the wind's energy into electricity. So what could the possible advantages and disadvantages of solar power energy be? Let's have a look. Advantages. Once the wind turbine is built, running costs are very low. It does not produce any harmful gases. The land occupied by a wind farm can still be used for farming. Wind is a renewable source, so it will not run out. Wind farms are safe and easy to build. And then we have the disadvantages. Wind turbines must be shut down in very strong or very weak winds. They can only be built in certain areas, and not everyone likes the appearance of wind farms. Water. Water rushes quickly through the tunnel and spins the turbine. This rotates a generator which converts the water's energy into electricity. The energy then travels through pylons to homes and buildings. Is this a form of renewable or non-renewable energy? Pause the slideshow here and have the conversation or brainstorm your ideas. Hydropower dams convert the water's energy into electricity. Let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. Once the wind turbine is built, running costs are very low. It does not produce any harmful gases. The land occupied by a wind farm can still be used for farming. Energy sources won't run out while water is available. Therefore, it is renewable. Electricity is produced only when it is needed. And disadvantages. If strong water currents are released, floods can be caused. Disruption of local environment and droughts and low-level water can result in a low production of electricity. Have a conversation with the people near you or write your answers down. Which of these energy sources do you think is the best? You must give at least 3 reasons why. Pause the slideshow here to give yourself time for this independent task. Now, you have some questions below to answer. What does non-renewable energy mean? What does renewable energy mean? What renewable energy forms do you know? And what are the disadvantages and the advantages of each? And below in green is the word bank, natural resource, fossil fuels, limited supply and pollution. Please do refer to the slides prior to this slide as well as the video that we watched earlier on. Pause the slideshow here and take as much time as you need to work your way through the questions. Many people object to wind turbines and solar farms as they are visually unappealing. Do you agree? Or are they a necessity? Explain why. I would like to encourage you to have this discussion with the people in your household. Place this PowerPoint nearby so that you can use it as a resource. And below on the right is a word bank with some words that you can use. Natural resource, solar power, wind turbine, hydropower, dam, unlimited supply and weather. So, let's review our learning. What do we use energy for? What is the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy? And can you name 3 types of renewable energy? What impact is non-renewable energy having on Earth? When you are ready, click on to the next slide. Have a look. Were you correct? Pause the slide here to talk through the answers. And in our future learning, we will look at knowing the real reasons and facts about renewable and non-renewable energy, to know how to explain how energy is used to transport food around the globe, the impacts that your actions may have on the wider world, which is incredibly important, to explain your footprint on the world, and to understand your own carbon